Hey everybody, welcome back to this week's Dark Avenger comic book review. We just talked about the Mighty Thor that I was glad I got into. I got the first trade paperback along with the 3 issues after. Same thing happened with this book, only better. Daredevil, issue 10. I did the same thing. First 6 issues in the trade paperback, then I got issue 7, 8, and 9, and now I'm up to 10. Well, I didn't get 7, 8, and 9 at the same time. I started with 7, and then I went back to get the... I did the same thing! Anyway, Daredevil 9 was mostly Daredevil versus Mole Man. It explains why Mole Man was stealing the corpse. It turns out he was looking for a long-lost love that passed away. The whole book basically... Yeah, she passed away, the girl. He's sick and twisted, the Mole Man.
Oh, okay. I didn't get it. Now I got it.
Then it went to Daredevil versus the Mole Man for a bit. We learned something about the... Oh yeah, the artwork is beautiful in this book. Yeah. Here you go. Daredevil finally accepts that his father's passed on and he's no longer around because Mole Man is trying to get into his head. Basically takes all the diamonds that were where a nice handful of the diamonds, and he fixes the cemetery and uses the diamonds as little head pieces for the headstones. Very nice. Very end though leaves us with, it turns out Black Cat, spoiler, did not take the Mr. Fantastic Four. She instead leaves him a note saying that she was hired by the Black Spectre, and the Black Spectre is now working with Megacrime, and if she can get to the thing he's holding on to, Mr. Fantastic's number 4, anybody can. So he's going to have to find a better way to hide it and to keep to be careful because people are watching him. And in the very last panel, he thinks he sees somebody watching him. Probably is, and the person turns invisible, but turns out Foggy doesn't believe him and he thinks that Matt's going a little bit cuckoo. Now, next Dark Avenger review, next time, which I got for this week, Daredevil issue 10.1. And then after that, the Omega Effect. Here we go. The Omega Effect starts in Avenging Spider-Man, goes into Punisher, and then concludes all back here next month.
I am looking forward
to the grand finale. Mike, you're going to be reading part 2, and you're going to have to tell me how it goes. So I'll know what's going to happen in part 3. I'm probably going to have to read it too.
Well, yeah, you can if you want.
So it's all going to conclude here next month. I can't wait to read 10.1. I didn't even look at it yet. But this series is really good, guys. I highly recommend it. The artwork is second to none. Get to see Daredevil beat the crap out of Mole Man. Everything gets set right in the end, and a new story arc is coming, I guess, after the Omega Effect, which is going to be a 1-issue thing, and then we're going to go into another story arc for Daredevil.
Oh, it's only 1 issue?
For each book.
Oh.
It's going to be Avenging Spider-Man, number whatever, the next Punisher, and then Daredevil 11.
Oh, so it all goes together into...
Right, into the one big story, and then that's it. Looking forward to seeing that. Loving this series, highly recommend it. A point 1 that did come out this week is Avengers 24.1. It starts off where Vision was destroyed or ripped in half by She-Hulk thanks to the mental powers of Scarlet Witch way back when. And then it jumps to the present where Vision is now trying to find his place in the world again. And he finds out just then that it wasn't She-Hulk that did it on her own free will to rip him in half, that it was Scarlet Witch's fault. And now he's on the hunt, so to speak, to find her. He goes to She-Hulk first. She-Hulk doesn't know where he is, and then he goes to the Utopia. Basically, him and Magneto have a bit of an argument. Really sweet artwork, by the way.
Looks epic.
And then in the end, basically, Magneto owns him because he's made of metal, and Magneto doesn't know where his daughter is either. So Vision shows up at Avengers Mansion, and him and Cap have a heart-to-heart talk, and basically now Vision just has to find his place in the world again. And this all is actually going to lead into parts of Avengers Versus X-Men number 0, which, by the way, so this issue was pretty good. Pretty good. Which, by the way, we're going to conclude Marvel with this week with Avengers Versus X-Men issue 0, setting up for Avengers Versus X-Men. In this issue, it's split into 2 parts. It's split into the Scarlet Witch's story, which takes place right after this, and I'll tell you guys how in a bit. And then it goes into Hope and Scott Summers. Okay. First part of the story is the Scarlet Witch. She's fighting MODOK, who is now bald. I don't know how that happened.
Really?
Scarlet Witch's artwork is second to none beautiful, by the way.
Wow, what happened?
All this is written by Brian Michael Bendis. I have no idea how this man does it. So she is fighting MODOK. Spider-Woman and Miss Marvel show up to help her. They're like, hey, you should come back to Avengers Mansion. You know, you're back now. Maybe, you know, come back to your roots. Come back to all of us. She shows up at Avengers Mansion, and that's where she meets Vision. And Vision is the coldest person in the world. He's like, I can forgive you for everything. I can forgive you for everything except one thing. You chose to overpower me and use my body as a weapon against my friends in my home. I cannot forgive that. And she's like, you're right. And he's like, this is not your home anymore. You should leave. And she's like, but you already, he said, if that's what you came to find out, now you know. And she's like, I already knew that. And it turns out Miss Marvel has to take her away. And everybody thinks Vision's cold, but as he's walking off, you see those tears of, he didn't want to do it, but he knew he had to do it, kind of. So it hurt him just as much as it hurt her. And then it goes to Hope and Scott. Scott's being the overprotective, pain in the butt father that he is.
That's my favorite scene.
Hope runs away for a bit. She ends up bumping into a bunch of supervillains breaking into a bank. She fights them, takes them all out. Scott shows up and tries and stops her before she kills one of them. And it all ends with the Phoenix is coming. I'm not really spoiling too much for you guys because you guys had to have read this by now. It's 2 weeks old. And I'm sure everybody's read Avengers Versus X-Men 1 already, so when I go on to that review, I'm sure nobody's going to care about me spoiling it too much.
No, just for the month review for that, I'm probably going to read 1.
You're not going to read 0?
I mean, maybe I'll take a look at it and see if I'll add it on.
That's a good series.
So that was Avengers Versus X-Men 0, a perfect, beautiful setup to Avengers Versus X-Men, even though it really doesn't set too much up, because I did already read through most of Avengers Versus X-Men 1, and I pretty much would have been okay with not reading this book. So if you missed this book, you can't find it, don't worry. It's just an issue 0. It's just to prep everybody. To be quite honest, issue 1, you can read issue 1 without having read issue 0, or the Infinite #1, which you get for free anyway if you buy the hard copy, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine without having to have read this. Now we go into DC really quickly. Legion, Secret Origin #6 came out. It's over. It's done. Goodbye. Have a good life. Teen Titans #7 came out. Superboy, the Teen Titans go to save Superboy against a few people's better judgment, against a few people who didn't want to do it. They save Superboy, but then there's a new problem that arises. I have no idea if I'm going to be getting the next issue, to be honest with you. I might get the next, because Superboy's interlocking with this, I might get the next, I didn't get Superboy next week, but I might buy it the following week, just to finish up this story arc. I'm not too sure. To be honest with you guys, I'm enjoying Teen Titans, but I'm not enjoying it the way I used to way back before the relaunch. So, I don't know. This is the March comic book. I did say in April is when I'm going to be doing the cuts. So I have a full 4 months to decide whether I want to continue this or not. To be quite honest though, not looking good. That's all I'm going to say to this. Batman the Dark Knight issue 7. You could have seen this coming a mile away. I knew it too. Batman versus Bane. First of all, Batman versus Bane. Batman's fighting Bane and he ain't doing too hot. He's aimed to die. Then it jumps to Superman running with Flash, which actually was, the artwork was, it was alright. The artwork was okay.
It's like the race from the
not
past.
bad. I mean, it's not as bad as the last issue, but really, it picked up a little bit. So Flash runs the toxin out of his body. Superman tells him he should go to the hospital. He's like, no, I gotta go help Batman. I still have my sense of direction. Flash shows up and helps Batman beat Bane. You think Bane's dead, he's not, he disappears. And then, this is the part I knew. Bruce Wayne's girlfriend and the White Bunny are one and the same. Yes, she can be 2 places at once. To be continued. She can be 2 places at once.
I'm surprising. I like our shoot.
If I spoiled it for you guys, I'm sorry, but I mean, if you didn't see that coming, I even saw that coming. I'm sorry. For some reason, Batman's got a new girl who's back in town, and then the White Bunny comes out of nowhere. I'm sorry. I saw it coming. Just didn't know how. I thought it would have been the twin sister, maybe.
That's what I kind of...
The fact that she can multiply herself? Hey, okay, whatever. Will I be holding on to Batman the Dark Knight? Yes. But it is my 3rd favorite. Detective Comics is gone now, so I now officially only have 3. This is my 3rd favorite. Batman and Robin is my 2nd, and Batman is still holding a very strong 1st place. So, yeah, we'll be seeing where Batman the Dark Knight goes. If it goes downhill, another book to drop. But for right now, it held my interest long enough to say, okay, I'll stick around for the next story arc. So we'll see where things go in the Dark Knight in the next issue. Next, we have Green Lantern New Guardians #7. whole bunch of talky in this book. Kyle is trying to talk down the Angel. He's trying to say, listen, let's talk about this. Let's be logical. We're not all Larfleeze here. And before that, Saint Walker goes back into his past, into the Angel's past, and finds out why he is the way he is, and that turns out Larfleeze killed a lot of people and tried to kill him, and Larfleeze is the reason for his misery and whatnot. And then Kyle Rayner tries to talk him down. Bleach shows up and ruins all that. Huge fight breaks out a bit. Everybody's starting to come together. Acrillo even almost says that Saint Walker's his friend, but he doesn't. And in the end, they finally get through to the Angel, but he's like, I'll let you go on one condition. The Green Lantern, which is Kyle, you must slay Larfleeze for me. To be continued. Long story short, there's a lot of stuff in the middle that I didn't say that you guys might want to read. This is my second favorite Green Lantern comic book.
But
Still is.
But has it been done before where all the lanterns fought each other and stuff like that?
They didn't fight each other, they were fighting him.
Oh, in the comic book.
They were fighting Invicious. His name is Invicious, though. They call him Angel, but his name is Invicious. So, no, this is the first time the second time they're all working together minus Black as Sniper. This is like one from each corps working together.
because it went the other way around.
Yeah. I'm enjoying this. I don't know if everybody who's a Green Lantern fan will be enjoying this. To be honest, though, Kyle Rayner is my second favorite Green Lantern. Used to be my first, then Hal Jordan came back, and yeah, he got my first. But Kyle Rayner is still my favorite Lantern, so I'll be sticking around for this book for a while. It held on to me for a while. It's going into the second story, sort of, if you really think about it. After next issue, it has to be, I think. I don't even know. But it's holding me enough to say, okay, even though we're in the 7th issue and they really haven't gotten through the first story yet, we'll see where this goes. Because I know this is going to get interlaced with the new Guardians 3rd Army story whenever that happens. So I'll be sticking around for this book for a bit. Would I recommend it? Depends how interested you guys would be in this. If you don't know what I mean, go back to all 6 other comics that I reviewed and you tell me. Book of the week from DC and, well, not from DC and Marvel, a good book. I'd say book of the week, and TMNT will get book of the month. This will get book of the week. Aquaman number 7. You learn about the others, that there's, in the very beginning you get to see Black Manta for the first time ever.
Really?
In the New 52.
Ooh, this is kind of
and there's his first appearance in the New 52. He still has his exact same costume. Nothing really different, in my opinion at least.
Oh, wow.
Not really different at all. He slays this girl. We don't know who she is yet, but we know she knows Aquaman. He has 3 scratches on his face, which I'm guessing come from Aquaman's trident. And I'm going to tell you guys my prediction in a second. But he slays her, goes to Aquaman, who's saving a bunch of ships with Mira, who are, there's a huge storm, so he's bringing them into the coast. He goes to, oh God, what's his name? I keep forgetting his name. Dr. Shin, to find out information about the relic he found from 2 issues back. They start looking into the relic, and then it turns out that this girl called, I forgot what her name is, what's her name? I'll find out her name here. Her name is Yawara, whatever.
Wow.
She shows up with her little Bengal tiger thing, and she thinks Dr. Shin sent Black Manta to kill the other girl, who it turns out they were all together in this, like, I'm going to show you guys the last page, group clique that they had called the Others. It was Arthur, this guy called Vostok X, the Operative, Yawara, and the girl that was killed in the very beginning, Kihira. Now, my prediction is this. I think that Mr. the Operative over here was Black Manta when he was younger. Look at the costume.
Yeah, you know, you kind of see a little
My prediction
resemblance.
is that he was, he definitely was part of the, he was black. He's Black Manta. I have a feeling. If it's true or not, I have no idea. But 2-1 he was, because how did Black Manta get the scratch on his face by the trident? I think that the Operative was Black Manta, and we find out about the others in the next issue. Next issue, who are the others? Even though it says here, the secret of the others. You won't learn anything about the others in this issue at all. It's really a lot of nothing. It's a lot of setting up to learn about the others. So really this issue sets up for the next issue. So this sets up. This is a setup. That's why I say the book of the month will be TMNT. This could be book of the week, because honestly, this really didn't wow me like the other 5 issues or 6 issues. Well, no, we're on 7. The other 6 issues did. So that's kind of why I gave TMNT the week and the month. So I'm actually going to keep TMNT as the week also. This just sets up. We'll see what issue 8 does, and if issue 8 actually deserves to be considered book of the week of the month of March. So book of the week will stick to TMNT, and this will just be this is definitely the best out of DC this week. Let's put it that way. This pulling a strong 2nd place, and Batman pulling a strong 3rd. So I can't believe I'm saying this, but Aquaman's going really well. The artwork by Ivan Reis is just amazing. And that's it for this week.
Okay.
Sorry once again, guys. I'm speeding through these books because I want to get back on time with my comic books. So with that, let's round these comics out and close up shop and go into, and I can start reading and catching up to my comic books. Okay, Aquaman number 7 is pretty good, but it's once again a setup, I think, for issue 8 more. Green Lantern and the New Guardians issue 7 was good to me. Up to you guys. Batman the Dark Knight issue 7, 3rd place favorite for me. Up to you guys what you think. Same thing with Teen Titans number 7. I might drop it because I'm just not into it as much as I used to be. Last issue of Legion Secret Origins. Legion Secret Origins number 6. Once again, up to you guys. Avengers Versus X-Men issue 0. I know everybody had to have gotten their hands on. Really would recommend it, but if you guys missed out and just got issue 1, you'll be fine. So no worries there. Avengers 24.1 was pretty good. It's Vision getting back into the world after being gone for so long. Daredevil issue 10 was awesome. Good conclusion. Can't wait for the Omega Effect coming soon. The Mighty Thor issue 12 was awesome. Thor's back, baby. Check this issue out. Avenging Spider-Man issue 5 was a very warm, heartfelt story between Spidey and Cap. I would highly recommend that. Dark and Dark Wolverine issue 23, the final issue. If you guys didn't check this series out, get the trade paperbacks. Really awesome. Astonishing X-Men 48. Finally, Wolverine's team is in the Astonishing X-Men books. Except I was hella lost throughout most of this book. Up to you guys. New Avengers issue 23. The Dark Avenger storyline ended. This just added a little bit of extra story on how Cap got free and Scar's betrayal. Up to you guys. Uncanny X-Force issue 23. Once again, great story. I am not a fan of the artwork whatsoever. Up to you guys. Secret Avengers 24. Not a fan of the artwork. The story's 50-50. If this is the way they're going to introduce Venom, whatever. I just hope the stories pick up after Avengers Versus X-Men finishes. Up to you guys. Ghost Rider issue 9, last issue, Johnny Blaze becomes Ghost Rider. I spoiled, that's the whole big spoiler of the book. Up to you guys. The New Dead Guardians issue 1, I leave it up to you guys. I'll give issue 2 a chance. If this series doesn't pick up in that issue, I'm probably going to drop it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 8, book of the week, book of the month. If you guys have not been checking this out yet, where have you been? Check this series out. You're gonna love it. Get the trade paperback on the first 5 if you don't believe, if you're not sure, and then go from there. I love it. Transformers Robots in Disguise issue 3, awesome. Highly recommend checking. Not awesome. I would say the More Than Meets the Eyes is the better of the 2, but this was a pretty okay series. Check it out. I hope, if anything, Optimus comes into this series. They kind of need Optimus. It's not as good as the other one. Magic the Gathering issue 3, pretty good if you're a fan of Magic or anything like that. And it comes with its free card. Thank you for pointing that out, Mike. Comes with this free card. Now that Mike's on the camera, you can see it. Up to you guys. I'm a fan of the Magic. I was a fan of the Magic cards. Decided to give the comic a chance, and I'm highly enjoying it. G.I. Joe Infestation number 2, the second of the 2 best series that came out of Infestation 2 thus far, and Voltron issue 4. If you're a fan, you'll be checking it out. If not, you won't. You can get this free at your comic book stores. If you can't, go to midtown.com. I'm sure they have this from 2 weeks ago, and that's that. Really quick, guys, just to correct myself with the Transformers, I keep thinking I'm talking about More Than Meets the Eye. More Than Meets the Eye, in my opinion, is the better of the 2 because it has Hot Rod in it, Rodimus, but Robots in Disguise is doing okay also, but the story definitely needs to pick up because it's more of a paranoia story than anything else. But then again, so is More Than Meets the Eye, only it's a little bit better. So both stories have their paranoia things. So we'll see as time goes on. They'll probably interlock again at some point. So anyway, guys, that's the week of the 28th, 2012 of March. Be back soon for April 4th, which I got the comics for. Happy Easter. Hope you guys had a great holiday. I'll be seeing you guys real soon in another Dark Avengers comic book review. Take care, everybody. Keep reading, keep collecting, and take care. Later, everyone.